If you love somebody very, 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 very deeply, and then they hurt you, does that love just disappear? If you love someone deeply, 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 and then they die or are lost to you, does that love just disappear? Let's look into the mysteries of love. What is love anyway? What's it all about? Does anyone really love anyone anyway?
What is love anyway? Does anybody love anybody anyway?
Okay, we could go on like this, but what is it really? Because this love that we're all talking about and singing about is something we're all longing for. It's part of the intelligence of our being. For this we build empires. For this we strive to achieve. For this we study each other to see what is needed, what love is asking for. For this we climb mountains. And for this we surrender ourselves like nothing. And yet when love shows up, sometimes it can be the most frightening, dangerous, fearful event in our lives. Love can feel like fear. Love can feel like danger. Love can show up as a threat of imminent, inevitable pain. So what's going on there? Well, it's hard to say. We'll get to it, but at the beginning, let's make it clear. When we think about loving somebody, if in this moment you move to the memory of what it feels like to love somebody, where do you come to? Can you feel something of an immediate sensation of pain, and you can't quite catch what came before the pain, or a sense of effort, trying, moving with the heart like this, trying to squeeze it into a loving position? Do you feel self-pity? Do you feel grief? And maybe if you take some more time remembering what it's like to love someone, what begins to come forward are some of the qualities like background happiness, warmth, belonging, home. So love is showing up with many, many, many different effects. She has many different symptoms, and the symptoms or effects of love are changing all the time. And maybe one of the greatest disguises to what love really is our addiction to trying to love, trying to be in love, trying to make ourselves love. And this is closely followed by trying to make ourselves lovable. This beast has two heads. So in this efforting, this effort, this trying to love, there is immediately a contraction or a congealing of what could be the real thing. Now, if we're calling it the real thing, real love, if there is such a thing as real love, it's here all the time. It doesn't get lost or taken away because it's real. It doesn't just get washed away by a flash of pain or by a change in the environment out there. The love in here doesn't get erased because of disappointment. So if it's the real thing, it's here all the time, like the air in the room, like the space in the body, like the seeing behind your eyes or the feeling behind any feeling at all. That still space which opens up to feel. And if love is the real thing, love can't be abused, it can't be hurt, it can't be changed. It's got a center point in what is all we know to be real, all we could ever know to be real, which is our own existential feeling capacity. Now, this is where it begins to get interesting, because if it's here all the time, if we are centered partly in this perennial continuum of love, then what's this effort all about? What is this need to try and be loving? What's it saying about our belief structures, about what we really are? Because if we have to make an effort to love, what we're actually repeating again and again is the belief and the experience that there is no love here by itself, choiceless, spontaneous love, without effort. Meaning, whatever is loveless, unlovable, where love is not, is behind this place where we feel we have to make an effort to love. It's tricky, it's difficult, because, you know, from the moment you get married, and maybe a bit before, you have to love your partner, for example. You need to make an effort to love. You have to work at it. You can't look at him sideways like he is the Antichrist. And if you do, you have to catch it quick and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Behavioral therapy, dictating love on the heart, as if love is not anyway here, spontaneously arising wherever there is the space. And maybe sometimes not quite feeling like love. Maybe showing up as the fear of loss or the pain of the loss that's been in the past. Maybe love showing up in waves of disappointment as it attunes itself to the real conditions of suffering which are here. Maybe love showing up in a deep, 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 deep torrent of grief. Have you ever thought about that? How close grief is to love? How without love, grief could not be. So if we have to make an effort to love, actually we're moving away from being that love, from the truth of that love, from the perennial existential aspect of love, which is what we are made of. And if we have to make an effort to be loved, we're moving from a place which is affirming again and again that we are unlovable, that as we are, cannot be loved. We have to change it a little bit here, or tweak it a little bit there, or be someone else in order to be loved for who we are. And of course, this never really arrives in any place of peace. So often when we fall in love, falling in love means falling out of the belief systems, out of the head, into this unconditional aspect of love. For sure, fear can come forward because partly we're releasing a lot of our old defense mechanisms, all the battalions we built against love, all the conditions we built against love, because love taught us to believe that we are unlovable, the social love, the conditioning of love. So we're well defended against the unlovable aspect of ourselves. Love shows up, the unlovable shows up. It feels impossible. And when we fall deeply in love, those conditions can release in fear, in bliss, in reunion. And for a while, the skies are open and everybody is loving and everything is loving and everything and everybody is either lovable or forgivable. And then we cling again to the effects and we say, this one gave me this experience, now they stopped giving me this experience. And we slide out of Eden again and again into this world of effects, and we're looking nostalgically back to recreate that feeling of being loved. And then we blame the other. And just as we blame the other for making us feel unlovable, for not providing the experience of effects that was there yesterday, so do they blame us. And we begin to offload the blame in an interchange of blame. And everyone feels very much abandoned on the inside. So all of us are in a process with love, a loving process, a process of recuperating, together with a sense of truth, the truth when it arises in the heart, the authenticity of the love which can never be lost, this stillness of love, this space which is there behind the effect. When you feel love as warmth, dive to the origin of that love. Don't cling to the warmth. When you feel love as home or belonging, dive into the mystery which is there before the effects of home or belonging. When you feel love, dive in your capacity to feel. Feel the loving nature of feeling itself, this heartfelt connection, this movement outwards. And then something opens up. Unconditional love means it's also unconditional to the conditions that for generations have been placed on love, like marriage. It's a condition placed on love, like sexual loyalty, like inauthenticity, like that you have to be somebody else or conform or deform what you feel in order to perform in this world of what a loving partnership looks like. And this love is still there despite all of these conditions. And if we can let ourselves fall back again and again in this effortless space of what we are, not moving this way, not moving that way, the conditions can come forward. Try it on for a while, dance a bit, we're not impressed. And gradually trust and relax in this love which is always here. No need to grasp them, no need to push them away. Even when they come forward as grasping and pushing away, we can fall back in this purer form of love. With a kindness towards this fearful grasping and pushing away, which happens as the personality begins to sort itself out back into the well-being of our true nature. So the effortless love in me greets the effortless love in you.